Hello everyone, welcome to Form 4 English, Improving Your Accuracy Nouns. We are going to learn today something about a very important grammar element in Form 4, which is nouns. Before we start, let's prepare. First of all, you need to prepare the worksheet on nouns. Have you downloaded it yet? If not, you should go to eClass, eContent and download it before you continue. Prepare your pen, because we are going to finish the worksheets together and then do some of the exercises. You'll have to submit your worksheet in PDF formats afterwards to eClass e-assessments before the 12th of March. Are you ready? If not, you can pause the video first. If you're ready, we can move on. Now let's look at the objectives today. We have several objectives. First of all, we are going to learn how to use nouns correctly so that we can improve our accuracy. There are different kinds of nouns, and the different kinds of nouns are actually related to the number of nouns, whether they should be plural or singular. And this is the common error of many students when we write. And actually, the kinds of nouns is related to the articles to use. Should we use a, and, the, or zero article? So therefore, it is important for us to learn about nouns. We're going to look at nouns in the approach of looking at the common errors of students, whether the noun should be countable, uncountable, plural, or singular. We are also going to look at some special cases of nouns. Are you ready? Let's look at your worksheets. Let's first of all look at part A. On your worksheet, you'll see kinds of nouns. You'll see there are empty space that you need to finish, to fill in as you watch the video. Prepare your pen and let's get ready to take notes at the same time. First of all, we are going to look at some common kinds of nouns, so we got a good concept about the plural and the singular form. Now, if you find the video too fast, you can pause the video and then take notes and then move on. Now, first of all, let us look at the different kinds of nouns through this video. You can see there are different kinds of nouns in English. You should all know a noun refers to things, people, ideas. But there are different kinds. On your worksheet, let's fill in the first kind, concrete noun, which refers to material objects, places, people. Like abstract nouns is the second kind, like joy, love, fear, frustration. They are about ideas, feelings, and qualities. So a noun cannot be both concrete or abstract. Another pair, the third kind on your worksheet, common nouns, is actually the general class of person, place, things, and ideas, like here, boy, planet, cell phone. We always use common nouns in our daily life. Number 4 will be the proper noun. On your worksheet, it refers to names, actually, and they're usually in capital letters, like Tommy of Samsung Galaxy. For common noun and proper noun, you cannot have both together. But a noun can be concrete and common at the same time, like cat. The last pair, that means number 5, is compound noun, and number 6, collective nouns. Compound nouns refer to nouns made up of 2 or more words, like father-in-law, armchair, smartphone. You see, common nouns got more than one word. Collective noun, however, refer to groups, people, a collection. Like litter, refer to things you don't like, you're going to throw away. Compound nouns use multiple words to form one word. Collective nouns name a group. So on your worksheet, let's fill these in. Concrete, abstract, common, proper, collective, compound. Now look at these sentences. Can you find out all the nouns in the sentences? That's right. These are all the nouns in the sentences, and they belong to a different category. Horses is concrete and common. Tension, common abstract, and we got proper name, and some of them got more than one category. Now, as you go through the video, fill in part A of your worksheet. If you find it too fast, pause the video and finish part A first before you move on. If not, we can move on. Now, after knowing different kinds of nouns, we're going to look at the common errors of students so that we can avoid them when we write and when we use nouns. So what are the common errors? Before we go into the explanation, we would like you to try it out yourselves. Look at your worksheet part B. Are you ready? Now for part B, they are actually common errors of many students. Look at the underlined words. In each sentence, there may be more than one underlined words, or just one of them. Take a look. Are they correct or wrong? If they're correct, you just give a tick. If wrong, let's try to find out the correct answers to correct them. Let's reflect how much we already know first. You can now pause the video, try out first before you continue. Let's do this. Now, I suppose I've already finished part B. So if you've finished it, let's move on to part C, and then you'll find out whether you've get the correct answers or not in part B. Now for part C, we're going to look at each common error carefully. Now the major kind of common errors of many students is actually uncountable nouns. So as we know, when a noun is uncountable, it's usually what we call abstract nouns, and sometimes they can be collective nouns. These nouns should be singular, and therefore they take a singular verb. However, many students may confuse. They may make them into plural, and so therefore make mistakes. So what are these uncountable nouns? Let's take a look at part B on your worksheet. On the worksheet, you'll find uncountable nouns. There's a table under uncountable nouns. There are 16 words. The number 1 to 8, they are not yet complete. So can you complete them? Can you recall any words that start with these letters and they're uncountable? That's right. Number 1 is actually equipment. Now on your worksheet, double check your answers or fill in the answer if you have not yet got it. Equipment is uncountable. We cannot make it into plural. No S. Number 2, environment. 3, information. So not informations. 4, research. Many students write research, which is wrong. It should be just research or the research. Behavior, always uncountable and singular. Homework or work. Advice, so don't say give me an advice. We should say give me some advice, a piece of advice, or just give me advice. Vocabulary is actually uncountable. Don't make it into plural. If you want plural, you should say new words. So besides these 8, we have technology, machinery, which means a group of machines, knowledge, progress, luggage, traffic, furniture, and scenery. All these words, they are examples of uncountable nouns. don't make them into plural. And you'll find these words, if you recall the kinds of words we learned, the kinds of nouns we learned in part A, many of them actually abstract nouns that you cannot touch, you cannot actually smell, see, like information, homework, knowledge, and some of them actually a kind of collective noun like furniture, because it refers to a group of things like desk, tables, bed, etc. Now, let's look at part B again. Just now you worked on part B. Let's look at number 1 to 4 on part B. Let's show your answers. Are you correct? You can pause the video and then double check and correct first before you move on. Now, have you got more answers for part B already, for number 1 to 4? Let's then move on. As we all know, a plural noun often has a plural verb, like apples with S. A singular noun usually got a singular form, like apple without S. But then, there are nouns that do not follow these basic rules. They are the common errors of special cases of nouns. Well, you may wonder what they are. Let's take a look. The special cases of nouns. Let's look at your worksheet. On your worksheet, you'll find there are 5 kinds of special nouns in the table. Nouns ending with S but always singular. Nouns ending with S but always in plural. Pairs nouns always ending with S. Nouns always in singular but plural in meaning. And nouns always singular in form, but then both singular and plural in meaning. Now you can see A to C, they are all nouns ending with S, but they are used in different ways. And D and E, they are nouns always in singular form, but then again they are used in different ways. Wow, very confusing, right? You may wonder what I mean. Let's take a look at each one of them. Now let's refer to your worksheet. Group A, singular nouns always ending with S. Actually, you should know most of these words. Can you think of any examples? Let's take a look at these pictures and guess. Can you guess what these words are? Yeah, you are very clever. So, let's fill in your worksheet. Actually, the first word is the word news. Is always singular in form. Is a singular noun, but then it always ends with S. So rather than saying a news, we should say a piece of news. Or do you just say news? I heard news from her. This is mathematics. Always ends with S, but then it's singular. Economics, another subject name. For these 2 subject names, they are singular, but then there's always an S after the word. How about the middle picture? It's the word athletics. It refers to groups of sports, like running. And so, the next word is politics, with S. And on your worksheet, you'll find another one, which is classics. Have you filled them in yet? Now, let's move on to Group B. They are again nouns ending with S, but then we always use them in plural. Oh well, all nouns ending with S should be plural, right? But what's special about this? Well, it is because these nouns, they do not have any singular form. Take a look at these pictures. Can you guess what they are? Well, the first one is arms. On your worksheet, please fill them in. Goods, Congratulations. Earnings, which means the money you earn. Crossroads. So that means, look at the picture. There are sometimes puzzles. We do not know which way to choose, and we call that crossroads. Now, all these words, you can see they all end with S. They are actually plural, so we'll say the goods are expensive. But then, can we say good without S? No. These words, we should always use them with S. Are there other examples? On your worksheet, let's fill in the rest. There are other pronouns ending with S, but then again, they don't have any singular form. There are many. We are going to learn only some of them. At the same time, fill in your worksheet. They are belongings, premises, riches, savings, stairs, surroundings, things, wages, funds, clothes, credentials. So the word credentials, we learned it in the first term. Academic credentials. Credentials are like documents, papers that show the achievement, the qualification you've got. And we have one more, manners, which means the behavior of a person, and outskirts. Now fill them in on your worksheet. These are all words ending with S, together with what we just looked at in the last slide. We have congratulations, earnings, goods, arms, right, okay. So, final reminder, all these words must be in plural. Don't omit the S from them. All right, let us move on to Group C. They are paired nouns. Take a look at this picture. What's special about them? Yeah, they are items in pair. So because of the pair nature of these nouns, therefore they're always with S, and they're always used in plural. Like on your worksheet, let's fill in glasses, scissors, binoculars, jeans, shorts, earphones, headphones, pants, and trousers. So all these nouns, you can see they end with S, and you should use them as plural. So therefore, can you say, I have an earphone? No. You have to say, I have a pair of earphones with S. These words must be in plural always. Fill them in on your worksheet. If it's too fast, pause the video or play back. Make sure you fill in all these on your worksheet for revision in the future. Alright, up to now, we've looked at 3 kinds of special nouns. Some of them end with S, but used in singular form. Some of them end with S, but used in plural form. Let's look at Part B, common errors on your worksheet again. Let's reconsider your answers, number 5 to number 9. Let's double check and see whether you can have the correct answers. You can pause the video and double check first before you move on. So after looking at the 3 special nouns, we're going to look at number 4, the plural nouns in singular form. For A to C just now, all those nouns they end with S. But for D, they're actually nouns singular in form, but then plural in meaning. That means they're used with plural verb. You should be familiar with them. Can you recall these words? Look at your worksheet. See whether you can fill in the 4 words. That's right. The first one's police. It is singular in the form. We don't have any S, but then it's actually a plural noun. Audience. This one, people. And how about the last one? It's cattle. So let's fill these words on your worksheet. Well, what's special about them? Never add S to these words. Don't say kettles, audiences, no S. But then they should be used with a plural verb, like this example. The cattle are grazing on the grassland. So therefore, you'll say, the police are, the audience are. Don't forget. Ready? Let's move on. How about category E? They refer again to nouns singular in form, but this is a very special one because they can be used both in a singular way or plural way. What are these words? They are fish, sheep, deer, series, species, offspring. You may wonder what I mean. Let's watch a short video and you'll understand. Well, after looking at the video, I'm sure you understand, right? So for words like fish, sheep, deer, we can give them a number, 1 fish, 2 fish, 1 sheep, 2 sheep. But then we never make it into plural with S. Let's look at this picture. There's a lion and 2 babies. You can see the sentence, the lion and 2 offspring. The word offspring means the small baby, the children. However, you can see although we say 2, offspring is still without S. Well, that's all for what we want to teach you today. And let's consolidate. For homework, please review the worksheet Part B common errors. Try to get more correct answers. Make sure you fill in all the information on the notes. And don't forget to finish page 3 exercise. And then submit the whole thing, all these worksheets, 3 pages, in PDF format to e-assessment before the 12th of March. Well done, everyone. That's all for this lesson. Goodbye.